We'll be brief. If we can gather up right down here, I will be brief. As you know. What are you laughing at, Vienna? Oh, wherever. Up there is fine too, yeah. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Yeah, it's like a pulpit, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Gather around over here. I will be brief, as always. Yeah, that's. Yeah, don't say that because Sienna will take you up on it. And Simona, that's right. Gather over here for just a moment, and I'll tell you a little bit about why we're here and what we'll see. Yeah, this is the quickie, I promise. Okay, this is Straven Castle, and Straven Castle was a full castle, but it was a fortified house with some turrets. You see the round turret ruins here, and there were some over there too. 12th century, perhaps, as early as. It was a laird's fortress, and in the Covenanting time that we're concerned and interested in, it was just like so many of the rest of them. We went by the McIntyres there in Sorn today, Sorn Castle. That was seized and made a garrison for the dragoons. And let me just say a word about the dragoons. We think of them as the English and the Covenanters as the Scots, and very often the garrison troops were actually Scots. They were just Scots that were in the pay of the English. So that actually, well, you know, the dynamic of that is more effective. Oftentimes they might have an English commander, but in some cases not an English commander even. As we get down to Del Rye tomorrow, we'll meet Sir James Turner. Remember him from Duncan's War, a real character. He fought with the Covenanters in the Civil War, and then he turned coat, which is where that comes from. He turned coat and became a redcoat commander for the Royalist Dragoons in Dumfries. But during that time, the names are lesser known, but again, the vast majority of the Covenanters were nameless or were not the prominent Samuel Rutherford or William Guthrie or James Guthrie and as many other names that we could bring up. But they were just people. They are the people that lived in this community, like that sheep farmer we just saw herding his sheep beside the motorway just a minute ago, or not motorway, but the highway. And several of those were imprisoned here in Straven Castle, in the dungeon of this castle, during the Covenanting time. And then there was at least one execution here in the castle, Straven Castle. Now again, the significance of Straven Castle for the Crown and Covenant Trilogy is that I chose for the fictional character Fiona McKeith, who married Jamie. You remember that, Jamie? Who in Guns of the Lion, what has their surname become for that site? Crookshanks. That's a Cadbury bar right there, Vienna. Crookshanks, and you remember why it was Crookshanks, because of course he had broken his leg and he was crippled. He could walk, but it was awkward walking. Well, they were not McKeith clan then, because Fiona had married into another clan, so they were not as much in the crosshairs of the Redcoats after the rescue of the 8 Covenanters in April 1685 at Loudon Keep, which we're about to go by and see in just a few minutes, where Rebels Keep gets its name. So I had them move to Straven simply because I liked Straven. I'll be honest with you. They're fictional characters, so I could do what I wanted with them. But I chose Straven also because our good friends, the McCallums, Eric and Irene McCallum, that I've been staying with here in Scotland since 1996 when I called them from Glasgow, and Cheryl and I arrived Saturday morning. I told Irene, I said, well, we'll be home about 4:30, 5 o'clock, because I think of it as home, New Mills. And this was her home. before she married Eric, and so not this castle. No. She didn't live in a castle. Yeah. But the village of Straven was her home. So that, people, if you were watching your clock, was less than 15 minutes. Does anybody have a question about Straven? Why we're here? So, Mary Lynn, you're just trying to get me to go over the 15 minutes, and I am not going to do it. I'm saving it for other times when I'm going to go over. So, okay.